Hello and welcome to another What's Inside. Today we are looking at Desperate Housewives Dirty Laundry Game. This is from Cardinal around 2005 for 2 or more players ages 13 and up. This copy's still sealed. Somebody bought it at Kohl's. I don't remember how I got this, but it was in my old store stock, so at some point when I bought somebody's comic collection, this came with it. So as you can see, this is in a metal box, and that was a real big thing for a little while around this time. We'll look at some other ones that are in metal tins. I've got a Wizard of Oz trivia game that we'll look at some point. I don't know which episode's going to air first, but I'll probably film both those episodes this week. And I never liked the tin idea for a game because they get kind of banged up really easily. But you can see they've got the different characters on here. So, there's that. So let's open this up and see what the contents look like. The plastic is holding up fairly well. And there goes the collector value. Oh, look at that. Alright, so let's see what we've got in here. Nice, very flexible, easily bent metal. Okay, so this copy's never been opened, so it should be in pristine shape, but we'll see. If you can hear that sound, that's really the sound of really cheap coating. And look, there's a spinner. Is that supposed to be on there? So it's got a spinner in the middle of the board in a weird spot. So if you fold this wrong, it's going to bend this plastic shovel spinner thing. It says spin, so I guess that is supposed to be there. Now the problem is that the board, because of the cheap coating, doesn't sit flat very well. So when you spin it, it's not going to spin very well. Need a bigger table and a bigger stand. So you can see Susan, Lynette, Bree, Gabrielle, Mary Alice. Is that what that? I can't read that. And Eddie. I've seen this show like once and I thought it was stupid. So the coating on this is really cheap. You could hear it creaking when I opened it. So you'll want to definitely check the seams and make sure that this shovel spinner is still here, because that actually is relevant to the game, it looks like, from what these space pieces are saying. But yeah, it doesn't spin very well because the board has warped from the cheap coating on here. And the back is pretty smooth, there's no marbling, so this could slide around a little bit. The thickness is fine. It's just the coating on this big sticker is not very high quality. So that's very, very disappointing, especially because there's a spinner in the middle of the board, which I don't like, but if it works for the game mechanics, it's fine. But the back of it also keeps this from sitting flat to make the spinner spin. So that could be a bit of a problem when trying to play the game. So let's look at the game components and see what else we've got in the box. So the instruction sheet is really small. It's very flimsy paper. It's not even in color. This is obviously some kind of cash grab. Cardinal's game products sometimes are really low end, especially their licensed stuff, because a lot of it is just sort of a kind of a cash grab to get merchandising out for popular programs. And this is obviously no exception. I don't blame them. I would do the same thing. So here we've got a big stack of cards. We'll look at those in a moment. We've got another stack of cards. We'll also look at those in a moment. A D6. This is just a normal looking D6. Nothing particularly special about that. We've got our moving pieces and some little envelope things. And these say My Diary on them. So these must be where the secrets are kept. And we'll take a closer look at these. Nothing hiding underneath. This piece is okay. It's held up pretty well for being as old as it is. So I think this would be destroyed over time, though, just from even casual use and poor storage. So be aware of that. Alright, let's take a look at these pieces. Alright, you've got 6 movers, so realistically this is probably for up to 6 people. You could probably find some substitute piece if you need to. I'm not going to bother opening these because I can tell these are really cheap. They're hollow, very generic looking pieces. You can still buy these in bulk on Amazon, so I won't worry too much if these are missing. These are pretty common looking pieces, easy to replace, and in the basic 6 colors that you would expect for a board game. You've got green, yellow, red, white, black, and blue. So get those out of the way. These envelopes, these will be important to the game. Because these are like the clue envelope. You kind of need these for the game. And you've only got 6 of them here. So they are fairly nice. Reasonably sturdy feel to them. With heavy use or drinking, they may get destroyed. So, not too bad of pieces, but, you know, with even casual use, might get damaged. Now we've got our 50 cards here. These are numbered. So let's open this up. Or slide this off, maybe. Yeah, slide that off. And the cards are numbered on the front and the back, so that's really nice. So like, here's number 1. This is the answer side, I think. There's the question side. We won't look at all the cards because that would get boring. But we can look at some of them. I do like that they are numbered on both sides. It makes it a little easier if you're missing a specific card to go through the deck and find out which one faster. Because then it doesn't matter which way the cards are facing and you don't have to fight with that. Alright, so that'll give you kind of an idea of what you can expect from the 50 Dirty Laundry Q&A cards. Pretty straightforward. These are reasonably decent. I would say they're not great, but they're definitely not the worst I've seen even recently. So, not too bad on that front. Let's take a look at these cards and see what they have. These are actually sealed a little bit better. And these are numbered 1 through 100. And they just say secret on the back. And then on the front they do have some like clues, I guess, kind of thing, plus a sentence to go with it. Now, if you're a big collector and you want to have every single card, obviously you want to make sure that all 100 of them are accounted for. But if you're a casual who's just looking to make sure most of the key components are here, I think missing some of these won't be that big of a deal compared to missing the Q&A cards, because there's only 50 of those, where there are 100 of these. Some of these are probably a little expendable, comparatively speaking. These are fairly thin, a little less well put together, I think, than the other ones. The other ones feel like they're coated a little bit better on one side, but that just might be my perception of it. Overall, though, it's not a bad little set. It's kind of average as far as the card quality goes. Some of these are kind of funny, like you've been embezzling from your daughter's Girl Scout troop for the past 3 years. That's kind of funny. But yeah, there's 100 of these. They're pretty complicated to guess, I would think. But they're not that interesting. Like this one's fairly disturbing. Your frustrated husband hired a hitman, or your frustrated father hired a hitman and had his abusive boss killed. That's a little darker than like your best friend's having money trouble and is helping launder small amounts of cash for the mob, as opposed to like weird boring secrets like your aunt dresses up and goes trick-or-treating even though she's over 30. That's much less exciting than some of them. So they kind of vary on what kind of dark secret you have. Okay, so that's what's inside the Desperate Housewives Dirty Laundry game from Cardinal from 2005. Of course, it's a TV tie-in with the TV show. It looks like it's an okay game. I don't like the board. I think it's very poor quality of a coating on that top sticker, and that's definitely going to affect the game and the quality of it over the long term. Plus, that spinner being stuck in the middle of the board I think is a terrible idea, and it doesn't spin well, and it keeps the board from sitting flat. So I don't like that, but the card quality is not too bad. And if you're a big fan of the show, this would be a nice kind of retro thing for you. I think you might like it then, but I think this is only going to appeal to the hardcore fans of the program. So, kind of a mixed bag. But we've seen what's in the box, told you my take on it. That's going to do it for this episode. Thank you as always for watching and supporting the channel. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe so you don't miss future unboxings and reviews. If you want to help the channel in other ways, links to my Streamlabs, Patreon, and Subscribestar are in the description and on the About page. And as always, we hope to see you on the next one.